Top story reaction. Joining us from Indianapolis, Jeff McCall, who teaches media at DePauw University there. And with us here in New York City, Steve Adubato, media and political analyst. So what say you, Steve?
I say that Donald Trump is one of the most interesting, charismatic, dynamic political media candidates ever. So here's the deal. Even when they hate him, even when the Daily News goes after him, even when some who don't like him on the electronic side do that, Bill, they can't live without him. Look, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump's, but you can't look away. You can't ignore this guy. He is such a gift to the media that even those who hate him, in my opinion, are rooting for him to win this Republican nomination. Because the worst thing that can happen, the thing that the media hates more than a candidate that they disagree with, is a boring campaign.
But I think
and he brings excitement and he's provocative, controversial, and he's not going to stop.
Well, they may be rooting for him, but I don't think it's that because of that. It's because they believe Hillary Clinton will defeat him. What do you say, Professor?
Well, the campaign coverage has been fascinating to watch, and clearly the media at first treated Trump as kind of a novelty or a curiosity, but now they're treating him as unfit and dangerous. I think we can see a lot from a Media Research Center study that was done in March where they tried to track how the media, the electronic media, had covered Trump on the big three network newscasts. And it was interesting because the majority of the coverage dealt with things unrelated to Trump's positions on issues, like violence at Trump campaign rallies, Trump's campaign manager, charged with assault,
right.
Trump attacks Heidi Cruz, that sort of thing. And I do think that
aren't those legitimate stories that come off the campaign?
I think they're legitimate stories. They're legitimate stories, but the issue is that those things are being covered at the absence of a lot of other things. Where does Trump stand on the economy? Those sorts of things. And one other thing I want to say here is that the Rasmussen Report did a study recently where they talked to voters about anti-Trump bias in the media, and by a large margin, voters are sensitive to the anti-Trump media bias.
Well, his support is
so it's resonating out there.
Respectfully, Professor, here's how I see it. I have a problem with that Philadelphia newspaper. I have a problem with the Daily News, but I don't have a problem with this, Bill. I don't have a problem with anyone in the media repeating what Donald Trump says and say, back that up, defend that position, explain where your policy positions are.
They don't do that. They take it out of context.
Some do, and I don't have a problem. The people who question him, what are you talking about? I'm not going to name other networks, Bill.
You can name other networks
when
here.
CNN
This is the no spin zone.
When CNN does that and asks him to explain his position on immigration or explain his position on Muslims, and he has a hard time with it, that's not negative. That is good reporting, good analysis.
Okay, and I agree with that.
But what I saw there was not.
I agree 100%. But what's happening here, and I'm going to tell the story again. I don't want to bore you guys or the audience, but when I went into CBS Morning News, and I respect that operation, they're a good news operation in the morning over there. It was obvious that Charlie Rose and some other people, they couldn't believe that Trump was even in the arena. Not because of his policies, but because it was him. Because it was him, some apprentice guy, some guy with a funny haircut. What's he doing there? There was this kind of supercilious attitude, word of the day, coming off him. And you know it exists.
Do I think that there is an elitist attitude towards Trump? Do I think that? Yes, but here's the other part. Every one of those organizations, Bill, who think that about him, it's not as if they don't have him on. They need him.
Yeah, they have him on.
Right,
okay.
but they don't. But I do also think they want him to win, and it's not because
they don't want him to win a presidency. They want him to run against Hillary and get his butt kicked.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
You reply to that.
Well, certainly Trump represents the anti-establishment, and people view the media as the establishment in this day and age. So I think when the media beats up Trump, it doesn't hurt anything.
What I want you to address is, and just say I'm in your class and Steve is in your class, the arrogance coming off the national elite media networks, liberal newspapers, that kind of thing. Is that he doesn't deserve it because of who he is. He doesn't deserve it because of who he is, Professor.
Oh, certainly. It's very personal.
Yeah.
And they're not going to vote for him. But also, I think it's worth noting that the mainstream media reporters, they didn't vote for McCain or Romney. They
wouldn't vote for Cruz. But it was a whole different thing. That was an ideological vote.
This is personal.
This is personal.
It is a different level, and that's why Trump has changed the formula for all political reporting for a long time.
Yeah, but nobody else can get away with it but him. Last word, Steve.
Last word is this. There are going to be a lot of media organizations, Bill, that hate Hillary Clinton, and you're going to see it on both sides. I think it's going to be worse for Trump because he brings on a lot of it himself.
Yeah, but the talk radio and some of the internet will really work Hillary Clinton over, no doubt.
Absolutely.
But the elitists who control the media on television and who control the major urban newspapers, boy, Donald Trump better be steeling himself because they're coming. Gentlemen, thank you.